Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, miraculously traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem and ascended through the heavens. For sure it is true, but is there any shortcut to reach heaven? Let's find out. Hey everyone, this is Cleophie again, your host at the Cleophie podcast. Let's listen to the deep dive on this topic. Please like and subscribe to this channel as I know you all like it and want to tune in every day. That's the reason that we try to bring a deep dive on a daily basis. Hey Jack and Wilson, now it is all yours. Let's see what you have to share with us.
Welcome to the deep dive. Ever think about those journeys, the ones that seem to just completely break our ideas of space and time, concepts that are just, truly extraordinary. Today, we're diving deep into one of those, Prophet Muhammad's Isra and Mi'raj, often called the night journey. And what's fascinating really is how this deeply spiritual story sparks these, unexpected chats about theoretical physics. It gets you thinking, could ancient miracles somehow line up with modern ideas like, say, wormholes? It's a really compelling intersection.
Exactly. And that's our mission for you today. We're going to unpack the traditional story, then look at some frankly surprising scientific takes that have cropped up, and finally, get into the modern debates around it all. We're drawing this straight from the sources you shared, trying to pull out the key stuff for you.
Okay, so let's get the context. This event, the Isra and Mi'raj, happened around 621 CE. And this was a really tough time for Prophet Muhammad, right? A period of real hardship.
A very difficult period. So the first part, the Isra, the night journey itself, it's mentioned right there in the Quran. Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse 1. It says, "Glory be to him who took his servant by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque." Tradition fills in the details. The prophet transported on this celestial creature, Burak, from Mecca, the Kaaba, all the way to Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. And importantly, it said he led other prophets in prayer there, a big symbolic moment.
And then from Jerusalem, things get even more incredible. The Mirage, the ascension part, he goes up with the angel Gabriel through 7 layers of heaven. Is that right?
That's the traditional account, 7 heavens.
And what really stands out there, he meets figures like Adam, Jesus, Moses, Abraham, foundational figures, and sees glimpses of paradise and hell, eventually getting close to the divine presence beyond this boundary called the Sidrat al-Muntaha, the Loot Tree.
And the timing. This is maybe the most astonishing part. The whole thing, Mecca, Jerusalem, the heavens, and back.
I apologize for interrupting the deep dive. Are you or someone you know struggling to land a job? Check out the ATS Resume Optimizer. I created this tool myself, and for just $5 a month, you get unlimited tailored resumes, mock interview prep, and a resume health score to boost your chances. Transform your job search today. Link in the description. Let's get back to the deep dive.
And back, all before sunrise, one night. Theologically, this had huge implications. It confirmed the prophet's status. It's where the 5 daily prayers were established for Islam, and it was definitely a test of faith.
Oh, I bet. And the reaction at the time.
Yeah.
People must have thought it was impossible.
Completely. Mockery, disbelief, which from a faith perspective just highlights that it was supernatural, a miracle.
So what's the core theological takeaway for believers?
It's fundamentally about God's power, Qudra. That divine power just operates beyond anything humans can grasp, beyond our physics, our rules. It's a statement that God isn't bound by the material world. For believers, it's about accepting realities beyond scientific proof. His command makes it so.
Right. Now, Mirage literally means ladder or ascent, like more spiritual. But fast forward to modern times, and thinkers start drawing these really, really interesting parallels with science. This is where it gets wild.
It does. They bring in wormholes. The concept proposed by Einstein and Rosen back in 1935. These theoretical tunnels in space-time, right? Hypothetical shortcuts, connecting distant parts of the universe, potentially allowing near-instant travel.
Like folding paper to make 2 points touch.
Exactly that analogy. A way to bypass the vast distances.
So the connection people make is the prophet's super-fast journey crossing cosmic distances in moments. It could look like wormhole travel.
That's the speculative leaps some are making, yes. It's an attempt to reconcile the seemingly impossible speed and distance.
And are there specific mentions in the Quran that fuel this?
Well, there's mention of Maruj, places of ascent, in Surah Al-Maruj, chapter 70, verses 3 and 4. Some interpret these ascents as potential portals, maybe where space and time behave differently. Linking the heavenly gates or veils the prophet passed through to maybe, just maybe, wormhole entrances, traversing dimensions, perhaps.
Wow, and I've seen these incredible numbers, like effective speeds reaching 18 million times the speed of light. How does that even work theoretically?
Yeah, those numbers come from deep theoretical dives. The core idea isn't necessarily moving faster than light in the normal sense, but rather that a wormhole drastically shortens the distance. It bends space-time, creates that shortcut. So the effective travel between 2 points becomes almost instantaneous, bypassing the usual speed limit.
Okay, that's, yeah, mind-bending. And this ties into Einstein's relativity, too. Time dilation.
Right. Time dilation. The idea that time itself can slow down at really high speeds or near intense gravity. This could theoretically explain how the prophet experienced a long, detailed journey while only one night passed back on Earth, time moving differently for him.
It's like science fiction, but rooted in actual theory.
And people bring in other concepts, too, like white holes, the hypothetical opposite of black holes, or even quantum entanglement, that strange instantaneous connection between particles. It all feeds the speculation.
And it's not just academic theory, right? You mentioned a YouTube analysis from 2025 exploring this very idea, linking Mirage to interdimensional travel, space-time curvature, wormholes. It's definitely out there in popular discussion.
Absolutely. The whole Islam and science conversation, especially online, has really picked up steam. People are looking back at the Mirage with these new scientific ideas in mind.
Yeah, we found some really specific examples looking through the sources, like that 2024 preprint paper, actually analyzing the space-time structure, suggesting wormholes or maybe some kind of advanced energy.
And the 2025 study on a different Quranic chapter, Surah Al-Kahf, linking its stories to wormholes and time dilation as like natural principles hinted at in the text.
Then you see it on social media too, people talking about tachons, those faster-than-light particles, purely hypothetical, of course, and wormholes.
And that TikTok video from April 2025, just straight up asking, did the prophet travel through a wormhole, mixing cosmology and faith?
It really shows how people are trying to connect these worlds.
Even quantum computing gets pulled in. Google's 2022 simulation of a wormhole, albeit a very specific theoretical kind, gets cited. People see that and think, okay, maybe these things aren't just fantasy. There was that X-post from March 2025 talking about quantum mirage.
Quantum mirage.
Yeah, like a quantum mirage, ascending through dimensions using wormholes and quantum tech. It's a fusion of ancient ideas and bleeding-edge theory.
So the underlying goal for many seems to be bridging the gap, showing that the Quran might have been prescient, hinting at concepts like wormholes centuries before physics caught up.
That definitely seems to be a major motivation, to find harmony, to see ancient texts as potentially holding scientific insights.
But it's not all agreement, even within these modern discussions, is it?
No, not at all. You get different takes, like the eye of the needle metaphor in the Quran. Some link that to wormholes, but argue they only open for believers, a kind of spiritual filter. But then you have others, like in that 2020 Medium article saying, hold on, pointing out wormholes are still purely theoretical, unproven science, urging caution, suggesting faith shouldn't hinge on speculative physics, rely on the miracle itself.
Okay, right. So let's dig into that skepticism more broadly. Not everyone buys the scientific link. What are the main criticisms?
Well, you have strong counterarguments from a couple of directions. First, traditional religious scholars. Many see trying to explain it with science as, well, missing the point. Reductive, even.
How so?
They'd say God's power doesn't need a scientific mechanism like a wormhole. He just commands be. And it is. Attributing it to physics diminishes the miracle's divine nature. Okay,
so it pulls God down to the level of physics, in their view.
Something like that. It suggests God works within rules we've discovered, rather than being utterly transcendent.
And then the other side, the scientific skeptics.
They raise different points, historical questions like, was Al-Aqsa Mosque as we know it even fully built back then? Though the site itself has ancient significance. Okay. Historical accuracy questions.
And basic physical impossibilities, right? Like, how does a human survive in the vacuum of space without oxygen, extreme temperatures, radiation? The traditional account doesn't address these scientific details.
Which, for a believer, might be irrelevant, but for a skeptic.
Exactly. And you see this reflected online, too. X-posts often emphasize that physics changes, theories evolve. But faith in the unseen, Iman bil-Ghaib, is constant. It's about belief without needing that empirical scientific proof.
And we should be clear about wormholes themselves, scientifically speaking.
Absolutely. They're purely theoretical. Still unproven, maybe unprovable. Physics suggests they'd need this bizarre stuff called exotic matter with negative mass just to stay open. And even then, could anything actually travel through one safely? We just don't know. It's deep in the realm of speculation. So like that 2023 article put it, science can offer interesting perspectives, maybe analogies, but it can't explain the mirage fully.
Precisely. It remains at its core an event that challenges belief. You see recent videos acknowledging this too, celebrating the potential synergy but knowing the limits.
So for you, listening, it's really about holding both, isn't it?
Yeah.
Appreciating the traditional account's spiritual depth,
Mm-hmm.
while also finding the modern scientific parallels intriguing, but also hearing the criticisms and understanding the scientific caveats. Seeing the whole conversation.
That's the goal, a balanced perspective.
Because the Isra and Mi'raj, it absolutely remains this incredibly powerful event in Islamic spirituality. It inspires awe, reflection.
For centuries, yes. And whether you lean towards seeing hints of wormholes or view it purely as a divine act beyond our physics, it pushes you to think about the universe, about mystery, about what lies beyond our current knowledge.
And as science keeps pushing forward, maybe one day wormholes will be proven, who knows? This ancient story still reminds us that some truths might operate on a different level, beyond equations, rooted in faith and the unseen.
Yeah. In this age of quantum physics and exploring space, the night journey kind of bridges that ancient wisdom with our modern sense of wonder. It encourages that dialogue between what we see and what we don't.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. What unseen truths might science be getting closer to uncovering? And could they, perhaps, echo wisdom we've held in faith traditions for centuries? Something to ponder.
Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. I hope you've gained some valuable insights. If you're a truth seeker, yearning for divine light and ready to step out of darkness, now is your moment. The truth is that Allah is the one and only creator of the universe. He has sent over 124,000 messengers and prophets to guide humanity, starting with Adam and culminating with the final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all. If you resonate with this message, you might be ready to embrace Islam. Simply recite the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. For further support, feel free to join our WhatsApp group. You can send us a private message there. The link is in the video description. Don't wait until it's too late. We look forward to connecting with you soon.